So revising reflexive verbs en Spanish son los verbos reflexivos o los verbos pronominales. And those are the verbs who affect the subject of the verb. The person receiving the action is the same person as the person doing the action. So I get myself up, I shave myself, etc. Now, los verbos pronominales más comunes, the most common ones, o los más útiles, the most useful ones, pues aparecen aquí. Tenemos afeitarse, to shave, ducharse, to have a shower, lavarse, to wash oneself, levantarse, to get oneself up, maquillarse, to put makeup on oneself, ponerse, to put something on you, namely clothes, relajarse, to relax, peinarse, to brush or comb your hair, vestirse, to dress oneself, quitarse la ropa, to undress oneself, bañarse, to bathe oneself, cepillarse, to brush your teeth, so cepillarse los dientes, to brush your teeth, and acostarse, to put oneself to bed, to go to bed. Acostarse also means to lie down, so if a doctor says acuéstate por favor, it means lie down please rather than go to bed please. So how to conjugate reflexive verbs. Step 1, take off the se. Step 2, deal with the AR, ER, or IR verb. And step 3 then is to add the correct reflexive pronoun. Me, they, se, nos, os, and se, going in the order I, you, he or she, we, ye, and they. Como siempre. So the first one, I shower myself. Strangely enough, would translate as I take a shower, or I have a shower. So the verb is ducharse. First thing we do is we take off the se, leaving us with duchar. We deal with the AR verb for I. That's taken off the AR, giving us our stem, and then adding the correct ending for I, which is ducho, and adding the correct reflexive pronoun for I, which is me. Me ducho, I shower myself, I take a shower. Otro ejemplo, he brushes his hair. The verb we need is peinarse. Take off the se, leaving us with peinar. Deal with our AR verb. So we take off the AR to get our stem, which is pein. And then we have to add the correct ending for he. So take off the AR to get our stem. And then we add the correct ending for he, which is a. And then add in the correct reflexive pronoun, me, they, se, I, you, he, or she. So the correct pronoun is se. Se peina. They relax. Relajarse is the verb. Take off the se. Deal with relajar as an AR verb. Take off your AR to get your stem. And then add your correct ending for they, which is an. And then I have to add the correct reflexive pronoun for they. So me, te, se, nos, os, se. I, you, he, she, we, ye, they. Correct reflexive pronoun is se. Se relajan. They relax. Okay, pause the video and using what we have just seen, work your way through the verb levantarse and complete the table. So you are taking off the se, adding the correct endings for the AR verb, and then the correct reflexive pronoun. So the way that it works out then is te levantas, you get yourself up. Se levanta, he gets himself up or she gets herself up. We don't know until we've seen the context of a full sentence. Nos levantamos, we get ourselves up. Os levantáis, you get yourselves up. And se levantan, they get themselves up. Otra vez, do the same thing. Pause the video and complete the chart based on relajarse, to relax one's self. So you're taking off the se, dealing with relajar as a regular AR verb, and then making sure that you add in that reflexive pronoun. Me, te, se, nos, os, or se. So empezamos. Me relajo, I relax myself. Se relaja, he relaxes himself or she relaxes herself, depending on context, depending on what the sentence is about. Nos relajamos, we relax ourselves. Os relajáis, you relax yourselves. And se relajan, they relax themselves. Seguimos. So the next that we have to do is, reading these sentences, choose which reflexive pronoun. Your choices are me, te, se, nos, os, and se, which is I, you, he or she, we, ye, and they. Okay? Let's take a few minutes, pause the video. You don't need to write out the whole sentence, but read the sentences and decide which reflexive pronoun goes in each box. So empezamos con el número 1. Juan something levanta. So Juan gets up. Juan is a boy. He or she. Juan se levanta los lunes a las 5:30. Juan gets up on Mondays at 5. Yo something ducho, talking about me, myself. Yo me ducho a las 8 de la mañana. Mis tías, my aunts, so they. Mis tías se maquillan cada día. ¿Cómo vosotros os relajáis? How do you relax? Nosotros nos peinamos cada mañana. We brush our hair every morning. Número 6. Los niños, the kids, so it's they. Los niños se acuestan a las 11 de la noche. The children go to bed at 11 at night. Mi abuelo, so my grandfather, so it's he. Mi abuelo siempre se viste a las 10 de la mañana. My grandfather always gets dressed at 7 in the morning. Nosotros nos acostamos a las 2 de la mañana. We go to bed at 2 a.m. Tú te relajas los viernes. Do you relax on Fridays? And vosotros os laváis por la mañana o por la tarde. Do you wash in the morning or in the evening? Some people prefer in the morning, some people prefer in the evening. Now, next slide is 2 of the most useful reflexive verbs are not regular in that they are stem changing. Now you will see or you will have seen some verbs like this, or you will study them in the future. So the way that it changes is that ER verb is the, perdóname, vestirse is VESTARSC, so the stem should be VEST, but it changes. So for me, they, say, and say, so I, you, he, she, and they, it changes from E to I. So it's an E to an I stem changing verb. Acostarse is an O to UE, meaning the stem changes to UE for I, you, he, and she. Nosotros and vosotros stays the same, and se changes. So do copy these down and be aware of them when you are using them, por favor. Next is have a read through this, pause the video, have a read through this and find 3 reflexive verbs, por favor. You're looking for 3 reflexive verbs. Penelope is talking about her daily routine, su rutina diaria, y tú tienes que buscar 3 verbos reflexivos, por favor. So she says, me llamo Penelope y voy a hablar de mi rutina diaria. Durante la semana me levanto, and I want that to actually be in a lighter color. Me levanto a las 7:15, me ducho, me pongo mi uniforme. Desayuno en la cocina, después salgo de casa a las 8, etc., etc., etc. Now, the very first 2 words are also a reflexive verb. Me llamo, one of the very first things that you learned way back in first year. I call myself, or my name is me llamo. And those are the only 4 reflexive verbs that are in this piece. For leaving certificate, to an extent, and for junior certificate, you need to know your reflexive verbs, mostly to describe your own daily routine. Okay? Seguimos, okay? So, relaciona los verbos de la izquierda con su traducción al inglés. So you are matching up the verbs on the left with the translations on the right. So again, pause the video and work your way through that, por favor. Empezamos. A, number 1, I get up. Me levanto. Número 5, they shave. Número 7, se afeitan. Se, you, singular, not saying, you singular, relax. Es, número 10, te relajas. He brushes his hair. Número 1, se peina. You, plural, wash yourselves. Número 6, os laváis. I put on makeup. Número 9, me maquillo. You get on well, as in you get on well with your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, etc. Número 3, te llevas bien. She showers. Número 8, se ducha. We put on clothes. Número 2, nos ponemos. Y the last one, they are called, se llaman. Número 4. Okay? Vamos a traducir. So we are going to translate these. Y vamos a ver cómo nos va. So I need to change this into a darker color. Aquí está. So número 1, I brush my hair. So let's check now. So peinarse is the verb that I need to brush my hair. She puts on a hat. The verb is ponerse. They shave is afeitarse. we wash ourselves, the verb to wash oneself, lavarse, because you cannot jump straight into a sentence and translate the entire thing from a standing start. Focus on your verbs first and then work through the rest of the sentence. You singular shower is ducharse, is the verb. You are cold is llamarse. He gets on well is llevarse. And relax is relajarse. Okay, so número uno. I brush my hair. So, peinarse, I'm taking off the SE. So, me, and then I'm using it as an AR verb, and the ending is O. Número dos. She puts on a hat. So, I'm writing away down there. Ponerse. She puts on a hat. Ponerse una gorra o un sombrero. Está bien también. So, quito la se. She puts on a hat is se. Take off my ER. Add in my ending for se. Se pone. That's an ER verb, meaning it ends in an E. They shave would be would be afeitarse. Take off the se. Se afeita, take off my AR, add the correct ending for they, which is an. Número cuatro, we wash ourselves. The verb is lavarse. Take off the se, write in my correct reflexive pronoun, which is nos. I need to change my ending. Nos lavamos. The more you practice this, the more automatic it gets. Número cinco, you singular shower. Verb is ducharse. Okay, so take off my reflexive pronouns. Take off the reflexive ending to the verb, and I add in the correct reflexive pronoun, which is they. Take off my AR. Duchas, because it's an AR verb. Número seis, you, plural, are called. Llamarse, take off my se. You, plural, is ye, which is os. Llamais is the ending for that. Número siete, he gets on well with his sister, which is llevarse. Take off the se. It's actually still a se because it's he. Se lleva. Take off my AR. Add my A. Se lleva bien. He gets on well. Se lleva bien. With is con. And su hermana is sister. Su hermana. Número ocho. Relajarse. Take off the se. Add the correct reflexive pronoun for me, which is me. Take off my AR and add the correct ending for me, which is O. Me relajo. Okay, ahí está bien. Watch back over the video as many times as you need to. Do practice this, as the reflexive verbs do come in very handy for describing your daily routine. Okay, muchas gracias y adiós.